Welcome to Inner Voice Power case studies. Today I want to share with you a case about a consultant, a pre-consultant, who had the problem that when he was actually asked something, like, can you do it this week? Can you do it in this time? A training, 1 hour or 5 hours or 5 weeks, and she just was always thinking about, like, how can I actually adjust it towards that the person will get exactly what he wanted in the framework of the logistics. Yeah. Also, price wise, she was also too flexible, even though this was not too bad. Yeah, she had a kind of schedule for what she was actually asking. But she was when she was asked to do a training in a certain way, yeah, then she actually inside of herself she felt, oh, no, this is not what I want, because this is not really as it has the best effect. Yeah? But when a person says, like, yeah, I want the training, but we don't have so much time, can't you do it quicker, can't you do it in one day instead of how she wanted to do it over a longer time. And she was feeling that she had to adjust it, because somehow she felt like, when I don't do that, then people will not book me, then they will not take the training. What happened? So when she was doing it in that way, yeah, she was actually losing her power. She was a very a strong-minded woman, or she is still actually. She is a very strong-minded woman, and she has a very own idea how things should be. Yeah, but she kind of made steps backwards and wanted to be more flexible, not so strong minded, and she thought this was the right way to be flexible. But what she actually was doing is ignoring, her real nature, that how she actually was naturally. She was naturally strict. She was organized, strict. She had a very good mind of how things should be, and what worked and what didn't work. And this is who she was. But when making a talk or having a talk about a training, she kind of lost her strength, and by trying to be something she wasn't, very much, submissive, and yeah, okay, yeah, just in order to get this training. And then she was actually, after she had done it, she was always like, wow, why did I do that? This is really stupid. Now I have to kind of figure out how to do it, and it will not be as good as I wanted. A little bit of perfectionism was inside that one as well. Yeah. And when she came to work with me, actually she was frustrated, because often the people she was booking trainings with, they were postponing, and you know they learned her as being a person who wasn't so strict, and she could easily adjust and everything was fine. But she wasn't that person. She wasn't at all that person. She was a person who had a very good idea what works and what didn't work. Yeah. So out of the frustration, because people are just canceling or postponing trainings and mixing her schedule, yeah, and then she learned the Nurx approach, and then she learned to honor better who she is, and she developed that aspect of standing up for what is actually hers, what she knows is right. She's a very independent woman, yeah, and she learned that because she felt that her needs, what is important to her, she had provided by herself. Yeah, she came to know that because, like, in her childhood, when she wanted something, yeah, then and she was kind of a bit more strict in it, or not strict, strong-minded in wanting it. She never got anything, you know. She was forced to be humble. She was forced to wait. She learned that when I demand something from someone else, yeah, I will not get it. Yeah, and this was kind of in her mind, where when she was depending on someone else to say yes to what she wanted, yeah, that she had to humble herself, and that she had to kind of be flexible in the fears, oh, when I'm too strict, then I don't get anything. Yeah. So she she kind of did not honor who she was, because when she could provide for herself, when it was her thing, yeah, and she could do the job, she was independent, strong-minded. She was very, very much able to really provide that and to create that what she wanted. Yeah, but as soon as she was depending on someone, she turned again into this child mode and she lost her strength, and others didn't also don't see her strengths, because this is also why she had so much trouble sometimes to get the business, because when she was depending, asking for a business, she was getting into child mode and said, please, please, please give it to me. But no one wants to hire a child, So it was contradicting for the people. She wasn't congruent, yeah. At one hand, what she offered and in the first place, then she was very much convincing in what she offered, and then it was coming into the sales details, and then she all the strings went. Yeah. So this is a very perfect example how a trait that she had, yeah, independent, being strong-minded, standing for what she actually wants, yeah, was underdeveloped as soon as she has to ask. She was depending, yeah, and her trait could function in that specific situation. Yeah, so it was asking her attention to just wanting to develop further, daring also to be this woman who knows exactly what she wants, what works, what doesn't work. Yeah, when she was depending on the yes of the business partner. Yeah? So once she really understood that also this trait of being independent, being strong-minded, yeah, so to develop that one further, instead of wanting to be someone she wasn't, because she wasn't a humble person. she knew what she wanted and it was good. Yeah, she developed it further, and then she was also able to be firm, yeah, to be a personality, to be someone who's standing in the room and sharing how things can work and how not. And then people could feel her strength, and then they were adjusting it towards what she was saying, because she was congruent and strong in how she presented it. Yeah, also when it came then to the details, not just what she was selling, her programs and her what she was selling, but also when it came to the details of planning, when it came to the yes, we do it that way. So she learned that that trait, yeah, was still good. It was still but she was afraid to use it in that context, yeah, and then she turned into something else she wasn't. Yeah. So she developed that trait further. So just to remind ourselves, or the ones perhaps who listen this for the very first time, yeah, in the New X approach, we learn that everything inside ourselves, yeah, has the capacity to be very constructive for us, even if it is not working in a certain context, or we have no access into it in a certain context. So every trait that we do have, even actually also the humbleness, but that is a different kind of topic. Also that trait, every trait that we have has a capacity to be constructive and destructive. And it has an essence, an unchangeable essence. We always will have, and we always will act it out in one way or another. So when you find this interesting, and when you have traits that don't work for you at this very moment, yeah, you might want to join my next workshop. It's always in Linktree, or just watch watch my sites. Then you will find it, or register in Friends of Inner Voice Power. So there you will get news on that one. I hope you benefit from it. It is interesting just to see, where a certain trait that you have in a context where it's working very well isn't working at all in another one. So, hope you enjoyed. I hope you benefit, and that I see you somewhere.